Weekly report on Israeli human rights violations in the occupied Palestinian territory. Israeli forces continue to use force against Palestinian peaceful protesters in the Gaza Strip. 95 Palestinian civilians were wounded, including 18 children, 3 paramedics. One of them is a woman who was seriously wounded, and a journalist. A civilian was killed after claiming he carried out a stab attack in Hebron. 10 Palestinian civilians, including 2 children and 2 journalists, were wounded in the West Bank. Israeli forces continued to open fire at the border areas in the Gaza Strip, but no casualties were reported. Israeli forces conducted 86 incursions into Palestinian communities in the West Bank. 55 civilians, including 7 children, were arrested in the West Bank. 13 of them were arrested in Jerusalem. Israeli authorities continued to create a Jewish majority in occupied East Jerusalem. Part of a wall was destroyed in Bab el-Maud area in the Old City in addition to a facility and 2 houses in occupied Jerusalem. The Israeli court decided to demolish Khan al-Amr Bedouin community, east of occupied Jerusalem. Israeli forces continued their settlement activities in the West Bank. A residential room, 2 portable bathrooms, and an auto repair workshop were demolished in Yada in addition to 4 houses in Al-Walja in Bethlehem under the pretext of non-licensing. 20 fruitful olive trees were uprooted in Nablus. A house and vehicle were attacked, and the passengers were wounded due to the scattering glass. Slogans in Hebrew were sprayed painted on the wall of an under-construction house and 4 cars in addition to slashing the wheels in Nablus. 7 shooting incidents were reported against the Palestinian fishing boats in the Gaza Sea, but no casualties were reported. 6 fishermen were arrested off Deir al-Balah shore and a boat was drowned off northern Gaza shore. Israeli forces turned the West Bank into cantons and continued to impose the illegal closure on the Gaza Strip for the 11th consecutive year. Dozens of temporary checkpoints were established in the West Bank and others were re-established to obstruct the movement of Palestinian civilians. Beit Hanunir's crossing of the northern Gaza Strip was closed until a further notice. 7 Palestinian civilians, including a child, were arrested at the military checkpoints in the West Bank.